I'm Ashton Addison from Event Chain for Investmentpitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Richard Ells, CEO and founder of Electroneum, back on the show once again. Richard, pleasure to see you again, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Hi, no, thank you very much for inviting me back on. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, well, to kick off our second interview, I'd love for you to explain, for those who aren't familiar and didn't see our first interview, a little bit of background on what is Electroneum.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much. Well, Electroneum is a cryptocurrency we started in 2017, or it launched in 2017. We were working on it earlier than that, of course, but it's a very, very easy to use cryptocurrency, works all on smartphones, and we've developed it for the unbanked. So lots of crypto projects will tell you that they are designed to work for the unbanked, but we truly were designed for it. And it's going exceedingly well. So we make it very easy for people who genuinely don't have a bank account to get hold of some cryptocurrency, Electroneum, by earning it. We have a big Freelancer platform that's going very well, and then they can spend it on lots of different things within the network. Nearly 2,000 different outlets for it now. So yeah, it's basically an easy to use cryptocurrency. A lot of the others were very tech.
That's great. And moving into banking the unbanked, there's so much potential and so many people that need these type of services. However, when you move into the world of cryptocurrency, there's also that factor of security and financial independence and having control of your own funds. Can you talk about your thesis for cryptocurrency security and how you've implemented that into Electroneum?
Yeah, love to. So again, fairly generically, there's a phrase within the sort of purist crypto community, which is if you don't own the keys, you don't own the crypto. Everybody who's seen this industry would have seen at some point some of the major exchanges, a lot of the minor exchanges have been hacked and people's crypto has been stolen. This is a terrible tragedy. People should be very aware that if they control their own keys, they definitely have security. Course, then they have the dangers and the responsibilities of looking after those keys. So what we've done is we've built a hot wallet system that's really easy to use. It enables instant transfer. That's really important, so people can buy things really quickly and walk away. So that all happens within our hot wallet system. But at the same time, what we've done is we've enabled a cold wallet system where users are encouraged to put the bulk of their crypto wealth onto a cold storage system that we've developed that enables them to control their own keys. But like I say, there's a conundrum throughout this whole industry, which is, it's quite difficult for you to know where to keep those keys and how to keep them safe. If you print them on a piece of paper and you have a house fire, you've lost your keys, you can't ever recover the crypto. So it is a bit of a conundrum for people, but we do certainly suggest to people that if they can, keep it safely. Remember, you can cut those keys into parts, so you could always give someone, a friend, half a key to look after, and it doesn't matter if he looks at it, he can't take your crypto. You can give another half to another friend, and you could do that with a number of friends, knowing that if your copy got destroyed, you could ask two friends, put the key back together. So you have to think a little bit laterally in crypto. But yeah, we have a solution for it at least.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been working pretty well with Electroneum so far. I know that you have great adoption. Last time we spoke, you were in 140 countries. So congratulations so far on the growth. And at that time, you were entering Africa, Brazil, and Turkey. Now, that was late last year. Could you talk about those expansion plans, and has the adoption started growing in those areas?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a phenomenal journey, actually. Lots and lots of crypto projects also talk, not only do they talk about the unbanked, but they also talk about mass adoption. You might have seen the hype, but very difficult to go to mass adoption without at least getting adoption. I would certainly say we have large adoption. A lot of people would probably call it mass adoption. We do have millions of users, but from our perspective, we're still at the start of our journey, even though that journey puts us way ahead of virtually all of the cryptocurrencies outside the top 10 in terms of real world adoption. But yeah, when you spoke to me last, we'd rolled out ETN top up, that was so airtime for ETN. The unbanked of the world don't have an exchange, so they can't go to an exchange to buy crypto. They can't go to an exchange to swap it for fiat. So what do? Okay, so we've got a way of people earning ETN, which maybe we'll talk about later or another time, but we've got a way of people earning ETN on thing called AnyTask freelance platform. And then they can spend their ETN at least in one place. There's lots and lots of other places in many countries. But what we did is we teamed up with airtime providers, so your mobile network providers, and enabled people to buy airtime through our app with ETN. And many places around the world, airtime and money are maybe not synonymous, and certainly I have to be careful with what I say here, but people certainly use it as a way of understanding what that value is. So $1 of airtime gets transferred around quite a lot in many developing countries. So you could even go to a market stall and often buy something with $1 of airtime. Airtime gets used as a commodity. So by us allowing people to get airtime for ETN, that's actually enabled us to monetize that ETN for those 140 countries we were talking about. Well, that's gone mad. We're just under 200,000 airtime top-ups on our network. I think actually we're about 185,000, or maybe even more than that now. But it's an enormous amount of airtime top-ups that have taken place. And we've seen that the market are very, very sensitive to the price of ETN. So the price of ETN goes up, we have this huge amount of people buying airtime. So even though those people have probably never seen crypto before until they saw Electroneum, they are very price sensitive to those fluctuations, and they take best advantage. It's quite good to see, actually.
Yeah, that's super interesting how the airtime is almost equivalent to a currency in these emerging countries. And for Electroneum to find that staple and utilize that to help with the growth definitely seems like a really good strategy. And you also just mentioned that you have the AnyTask Freelancer platform as one of the latest releases that I saw that Electroneum is working on. Can we talk about that a little bit? With this Freelancer platform that you just came out with, why is this the right time, and why is this the best thing for the cryptocurrency and for Electroneum to grow in adoption?
Well, what we wanted to do with cryptocurrency was really get it working in the real world. Loads and loads of cryptocurrencies exist, as you know. Nearly all of them only exist within the sort of speculative crypto community bubble. They don't necessarily exist outside that sphere in the real world where people really doing things with them. And that we wanted to break that mold of Electroneum, where we really wanted to solve a problem. So if the problem is unbanked, and like I say, there's a ton of projects that will say that, but we literally worked from the ground up and said, how can you take somebody in the developing world, so let's say they're in Indonesia or they're in Africa, they're in South America, how can you empower them with a cryptocurrency? Well, they can't go out and buy some Bitcoin. They don't necessarily have a Bitcoin wallet. They don't have any way to buy Bitcoin. And that's not to say that they can't try really hard to buy some Bitcoin. Of course, there are ways of doing it, and people will sell you some Bitcoin. So don't ever think that I'm poo-pooing Bitcoin, by the way, because I'm a massive proponent of Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is that Bitcoin wasn't the easiest thing to get hold of. So we made Electroneum exceedingly easy to use, and we took away all of this sort of requirement for a long period of time between transferring the value and it arriving at the other end. And then what we did is we built a freelance platform that's really easy to use. So it's a little bit like Fiverr, for instance. So it's fairly simplistic. It's not one of the more complicated ones where you have to bid against other people to get the freelance work. It's fairly simple. You list your skills. And that skill might be something like I can cut out images. So if somebody's got a whole load of images they want on transparencies, these guys can cut them out for you. Time consuming, fairly simplistic. That's a perfect kind of job to go into AnyTask. So they put it on and say, I'll do a cutout for $3. Now, if you imagine in the real world of currency, fiat currency, someone would have to transfer $3 to Indonesia. It's physically impossible. You can't do it. It costs you $30 or $20 in a bank just to transfer it. And of course, they haven't got a bank account, so there's nowhere to transfer it to. So cryptocurrency was the perfect solution. And we made Electroneum the perfect cryptocurrency for the solution. So we made AnyTask powered by it. And it's going crazy. It's absolutely fantastic. We've had 440,000 people visit the site. We've had 18,000 tasks rejected by our team. 6,000 have been accepted. So we have 3 times as many tasks listed that we go, we're not too sure we like that. Kick them out. And then we've had 6,000 listed. And last month, so in June 2020, the turnover was just under $17,000 of tasks. I think 700 sellers had sold a task in June and $17,000 worth. So we're only 4 months old. it's absolutely the most successful freelance platform in crypto that's ever happened. And we're only just at the start of the journey. We have a really good solid marketing plan to take this forwards to gain proper market share. And then we go from that. When we're talking about adoption, I say large adoption. The market might well say we've got mass adoption now, but I see mass adoption as true millions and millions of users, 30 million, 40 million, 100 million people actually using it. That's mass adoption, isn't it? So that's where I want to take Electroneum. At the moment, we have millions of users, but I think we can take that to tens of millions and beyond. So it's exciting times.
Definitely, yeah. Well, sounds like a great start to the Freelancer platform, in the hundreds of thousands already. I guess moving forward, with this mass adoption, getting to the millions of users, do you have a specific marketing strategy, or do you consider maybe the fact that for micro tasks, having a $3 task or something, as opposed to using fiat currency, that really is the competitive advantage, to be able to put in tasks that are only a few dollars and not have those financial intermediary costs? Is that one of the main competitive advantages, or how do you see getting this to millions of people?
Yeah, well, we've got, funnily enough, we've tried lots of different things. With all our marketing, it's all fairly scientific. I'm a fairly scientific guy. I've been in business as well for virtually my whole life. I've been self-employed. I've got all the businesses I've started are still running. Started a digital agency more than 20 years ago. It's still running today. Got a social media management platform started in 2013, still running today. So everything we do is thought about as a long-term business. So we take our marketing, we do the tests, we put lots of red crosses, then we find the green ticks. Well, we just found that big green tick. I'm not going to say what it is because any of our competitors would love to know what that is, but we've just found a great way to push forwards. June was by far and above our biggest month, and we know exactly what we did to get it. So we have a great marketing plan in place that will drive us market share. And then from the buyer's perspective, it's just as easy for a buyer to get into the market as it is if they went and bought from Fiverr, for instance. So Fiverr is powered by PayPal. We still allow buyers to buy with a credit card, and this is the exciting part about the platform. So the buyer doesn't have to suddenly learn about cryptocurrency to get involved in the buying process. But equally, our sellers, they don't have a fiat payout option because they're unbanked. So there's no point. There's no way to get it to them. But because we can get it to them in ETN and they've got an outlet to that into airtime, it means that they can absolutely compete. So Fiverr's cheapest thing, by the nature of its name, is $5. We have loads and loads of tasks for $1. Some of them are astonishingly good. I bought a colorization task for $3, I think it was. And for $3, they took a black and white photograph of my mother. It's her 80th birthday, and I had it. It was a sort of prize photograph of her. It's got lots of scratches and age signs. That was all removed, and they colorized it. They gave a brass buckle on her belt, and colored clothing, and colored her face and the people around her. Absolutely astonishing level of work. $3. It's just mind-boggling. But remember that to the person that's earned $3, they might well have to work a day for $3. So when they could sit there doing something that they consider to be a hobby and earn $3 from that, to them it will also be an astonishing figure, but the other way around. So it opens up an opportunity for both buyer and for seller. And it's quite an exciting thing because, of course, what do most corporates want to do? Most corporates or small businesses, but in the global north, they want to save money. So if you're spending $1,000, $2,000 a month on Fiverr, and all of a sudden you can spend $750, $1,200 a month, suddenly you're saving a real reasonable amount of money. And there are tons and tons of SEO agencies and things that are spending that kind of money and upwards.
Well, that's great. And it definitely sounds like that scientific method, and, got to hold those secrets close if you're going to gain the competitive advantage over the competitors. So all the best in that. And, I have one last question. We're running out of time, but I'm curious to know what is in the plan for Electroneum in the next 6 to 12 months. Are there any big updates that you can talk about that the user base are looking forward to?
You know what, I do. I probably this week. I'm hoping it's this week. I often put my neck on the block, and it does a bit of a swing goes for it. I've put numbers out there before and found they've bitten me in the bottom somewhat. So before Christmas of last year, I said, "Oh, we'll be live in X amount of countries," and actually we weren't live in 20. We were only live in 14 or something. But now we're live in 140. So we got way past where I guessed in the end. But I was hoping to be live with electricity top up this week, and it's still going forwards. I think we've got 4 countries that we're going live with electricity top up this week. So that's exciting. I haven't got an exact date for it yet. I'm hoping Wednesday or Thursday. And then a total exclusive, which I wasn't really going to, I might put it in the email that we send out. Now I'm saying it. But we do have some other quite exciting things that we're going to tie in as well. We've been talking to loads and loads of people about other things that we can do. And when you have to think about it, when you're trying to think of something that virtually everybody can buy, or something that lots of people can buy, the obvious one is airtime, because everyone wants to get access to the internet via the smartphone. Then the next thing for us was utilities. So electricity was obvious again, because it's so tied in with what we're doing. And then we thought, okay, well, what other things are there? Now, one of the ones that I am going to say that hopefully, again, it'll be this year. Everybody knows that I always deliver on everything I say. Sometimes I'm a bit late, but hopefully this year we will see some gaming integration. So computer gaming, the unbanked do not have access to all of those lovely virtual currencies within games. So the V-Bucks of the world, or whatever it is that they're using, Robux these days. I guess it's Roblox. Robux, that's what it is. So there's Robux, there's V-Bucks, there's all these things. I'm not a gamer, so forgive me when I get these things hideously wrong. But so we are looking at some integrations for that to try and take those cool games into the developing world and give them access, even though they're unbanked, to those platforms. So quite an exciting development, which we're hoping to get out this year.
That's great, Richard. And yeah, gaming is a very hot topic, especially for 2020 and throughout the lockdown. Gamers set to their computers, and I think that's going to be a global trend moving forward. So looking to see how that plays out. We're out of time, but what is the best way for our viewers to follow along with Electroneum, look at these updates, and get involved with the community?
Absolutely, yeah. I very much appreciate you taking the time to interview me. And if people want to get involved, go and have a look at electroneum.com and come and follow the project. We're doing a lot, so it's an exciting time. And make sure you follow the channel and subscribe. It's an absolute pleasure to be on. Very kind of you once again. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Richard. All the best with Electroneum moving forward. I'll leave those links in the description box below, and let's follow up in the near future.
All the best. Thank you.